Alright guys, I'm here with a string manipulation challenge. So let's read the question, the instructions, and see how we can attempt this. In this lab, you will mask the username part of an email address with asterisks. Masking is a term used to hide or replace sensitive information with asterisks or other characters. For example, if the email address was myemail@email.com, then the masked email address will be we have asterisks in the middle portion of the email, the last character, email.com. Objective: fulfill the user stories below to get all the tests to pass to complete this lab. User stories. 1. Create a function named mask email that takes the email as an argument. So let's first do that. Step 1. We're gonna create a function const mask email. Const mask email is gonna be an arrow function which takes in the email to do something. Alright, that's the first portion of the question. Inside the function, you should mask the email and append the domain name to it. Remember that you can use methods like slice, repeat, index of, or even replace to help you. Outside the function, declare a variable named email to store the email address you want to mask. Okay, so let me do this. So they have said, outside the function, declare a variable named email to store the email address you want to mask. So I'm gonna say let the email. So I'm gonna declare it with let since it might change any time. So let email equal to my email Visachi Alanis 14 gmail.com. So this is the variable that they told us to declare, the email variable. Okay, so they said inside the function you should mask the email and append the domain name to it. Remember that you can use methods slice, repeat, index of, or even replace to help you. Alright, so let's have some indentation on here. Let me make this a bit wider. Alright, so what they want us to do is that we return the email in this format. For example, if we insert an email, my email @email.com, we're going to have the first character, the asterisks in the middle portion of the email, and then the last character of the email, and then the domain part. So that's what we are going to extract from the email that we receive in the parameters. Okay, how are we going to do that? So first of all, we are going to extract out the portion that we want to mask with asterisks. So for that, I'm gonna say const masked characters, masked chars, which is masked characters, shall equal to, we're gonna get the email that we receive, which is gonna be the email, and then we're gonna slice this email. Remember we have the slice method. It takes into parameters the starting index where we start to index and then the ending index. So we're gonna say dot slice. So we wanna start slicing from the second character, which is 1, since indexing starts at 0. So we're gonna say 1, comma, and then we're gonna end slicing at this character. So we wanna end slicing at this character. So to achieve that, because we want to leave one character at the end, so we wanna stop slicing at this character 1, for example, for my email in this case. So to achieve that, it's going to be email, then so we are trying to get the last index at which we're gonna start to. We're gonna end to slice, so it's gonna be the email dot index of. So for all emails, they have one thing in common. All emails have one thing in common, is this @ symbol. So we're gonna that means we're gonna let me minimize the window a bit. So that means we're gonna end slicing at the index of, because since this is common, we can use it as a reference, at the index of this @ symbol, then -1. This, we're gonna wrap this entire expression in parentheses. We're gonna wrap this entire expression in parentheses, and then we're gonna subtract 1 from 8. All right. So what we are doing is that we're getting the index of this @ symbol, and then after that we are subtracting 1 from it to get to the index of this later 4. To get the index of this later 4, but then we don't want this later 4, we want 1. But remember, the slice method takes in the first parameter as the index on which it wants to start, on which we want to start slicing from, and the ending index. But then the character at the ending index is excluded, which means if we're ending at the index of this character, it's not going to be included. We're going to take only this, so the ending character is excluded. So with that, we have the portion that we want to slice. So secondly, we're going to need to get the first character. We're going to need to get the domain portion, which is this. We're going to need to get this domain portion of the email. So to achieve that, we're going to say const domain portion shall equal to email dot slice. So we also here we're going to use the slice method, but then we are going to only give it it's going to only take in one character. It's going to only take in one parameter, and if we give it one parameter, it means that it's going to slice from that index up to where the string ends. So it means that if we give it the index at which this character is, it's going to take everything from here all the way to the end. So which means it's going to be email dot index of this character at, right? So this is the domain portion of the email. So, and third, we need the first character. We need the first character of the email, and then the last characters, because they have to be included in the email portion. So we're gonna say const first character, const first char, const first char shall equal to email at the index of 0. So here we grab the first letter of the email, and to get the last character, we're gonna say const last char shall equal to email at the index of, we're gonna say email dot index of this @ symbol, but then we're gonna subtract 1 from it. So to get this last character, we're gonna get, to get the index of this character, the last character 4, we get the index of this @ symbol, which is common in everything, which is common in most all emails, and then we subtract 1 from it to get the index of the last character, which is 4. So that's how we get the last character. All right. So after that, the main purpose of the function is to mask the email. The middle part of the middle portion of the email we want to return statistics in the middle portion of the email. For example, from here up to here. So to achieve that, we're gonna say const okay, let's say stars. Const stars shall equal, we're gonna use a string which is a statistic, and then we're gonna apply a method on this string which is repeat, the repeat method, and the number of times that we're gonna repeat these statistics is going to be the masked characters. This one, the masked char's length, the length of this. So we have the length of we have the characters that we want to mask. So what we need is to repeat the statistic. The number of times that we want to repeat these statistics is the length of these masked characters. So it's gonna be masked chars dot length All right. So after that, so we have everything. We have the domain portion, we have the first character, the last character, and the stars. So we're gonna add up everything using string interpolation. So we're gonna concatenate everything. We're gonna use a template literal. So const final email shall equal to, we're gonna use the backticks. We're gonna have a $sign to bring in we're gonna insert a variable in here which is going to be the first character, the first char. Then we're gonna have another variable in here. It's going to take in the stars. That is the masked portion of the email. And then we're gonna have another variable in here. It's going to take in the last character, last char. And then we're also gonna add the domain portion of the email. So we're gonna have this, and then we're gonna have the domain portion. All right, so we have everything that we need. So okay. So our function is gonna return. So every function is a return statement. So our function is gonna return the final email. So this is what we're gonna return. Final email. What the heck? Okay, we should just copy this. Paste it right here. Okay, we're gonna return the final email from this. Now this is our function, so let's test it. So in the user stories they said, let's minimize this a little. So in the user stories they said, outside the function, call the mask email function on line number 4, call the email mask function with the email variable and output the result to the console. Alright, So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna say console.log. We're gonna invoke this function inside these parentheses, email, and then we're gonna give it the email. All right. So as you see in our output right here on our output right here on the right, we have the email masked. So we have the first character, the middle portion is masked with statistics, and then the last character, and then the domain portion. So let's try it out with another email and see. So let's use, for example, this Apple. So we're gonna copy this, and we're gonna reassign this variable. We're gonna paste this. So like as you see, we have the first character as A, the last character as E, which is here as E, and then example.com. So it passes this character, it passes this. So let's also try out with this pre-code comp. So we shall reassign it again. So takes in F, it has F, the middle portion is statistics, and example.com. Alright, so all these tests should be passing now. All these tests should pass, so I'll run the test, and all the tests did pass. So we did pass all the user stories, and boom, that has been executed successfully. Thanks for watching.